Yo, what up? I know it might be a miracle, right? Because like sometime I would not post anything for like weeks. And then today I'm actually dropping two videos. The one of them was like a quick update and stuff like that. And then I guess today I got some time, might as well do a quick live stream, right? So, anyways, how you guys doing? Hopefully everybody's doing all right. This is Art Banaka. So share, hit the like button. And yeah. So um just because I haven't been on doesn't mean that I haven't been, listening to people, stuff or whatever the case may be. Just because I just this is like, I do that on my spare time, just listening as I'm, doing my thing. Now I don't remember. Yeah, I was listening to a live stream from Sydden Pretty, and the topic was about black women's attitude, right? And some of the excuse that men usually use is that, yeah, black women's attitude is the reason why they're not being chosen, right? Full disclosure, it is true there's a lot of attitude among African American and stuff like that, right? Then again, white race don't really have attitude, right? So there's a lot of there's a lot of bickering, a lot of disrespect, a lot of crazy crap that happened. But now let's get to the bottom of this shit, right? Is it, if we're taking the using that excuse about like, black women's attitude, it's like there's some validity to that claim, but there's also a reason that a lot of us we're not even looking at. This is the real reason, right? This is the thing. A lot of this crap that's going on, it's not just about the women's attitude. A lot of time has to do with us, dudes. Let me break it down. Let me tell you what the hell I mean, right? Okay, look. So from by the time you like between your teenagers all the way up to, let's say, your mid-20s and stuff like that, right? So between teenagers to your mid-20s, a lot of us, like, regular, okay, let's just say a guy like me, right? Haitian background, not a street dude. I just want to go to school, get some good grade, and from time to time get me some drama-free coochie, right? So now imagine in the neighborhood that I grew up in and stuff like that, right? You try to holler some of these chicks, blah blah blah. Some of them give you good vibes, some of them just blow you off. They're not feeling you. All right, cool, no problem, right? But let's say you start messing around with some of the black chicks that start reciprocate your. That's not to reciprocate. Let me just turn off this fucking light. So you start messing around with some of these black chicks that's just like, started feeling you back, blah blah blah, so on and so forth. But here's the thing, right? Here's a funny thing. You now have to deal with some crazy motherfuckers that actually believe that pussy belongs to him and him alone. Right? So let's just say that you just look, because around that age, it's all about getting laid, right? When you from teenagehood all the way up to, let's say, you're mid-25, right? You're not trying to get anything serious. You just, like I said, you just want to go to school. You just want to get your grades up. You just want to get your education and all that stuff. And you just want to get some pussy. You just want to get some drama-free coochie. But let's say you get like a couple of numbers out there. You just go out, whatever, right? You get some numbers and all this shit, and then you start playing the musical chair game, right? So it's like the last woman standing. That's the one that's gonna offer you some whatever and shit like that. And you will get like some phone calls out of nowhere, be like, "Yo, you be talking to my girl, bro?" Like, I was trying to get some pussy, but I don't know that was your girl. yo, you better not fuck her over my girl, dude, because I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna fuck you up, nigga. It's like, whoa, what the hell's going on here, dude? I just want to get me some pussy. You want to get you some pussy? What's the problem? Yo, I'm just saying, nigga. Yo, don't make me catch you, nigga. so now you at a position where it's like, all right. So what's the deal here? Are you gonna fight some random ass dude that you don't even know, that you don't care to know, over some chick you probably not even screwing yet, right? And don't get me wrong, it's like a lot of these broad, they do mess around with some crazy ass dude, right? From the start. And it almost feels like, as a black man in the urban area, it's like you have to try to be this street dude, this thug nigga, just so you could get some pussy. Because a lot of these black chicks, these dudes they're messing around with and stuff like that, right? They kind of look at these bras that like, yo, these are my property, these are my hoes. You do not mess around with my hoes. And as a guy, you don't want to get shot, you don't want to get stabbed, or you don't want to get your ass whooped over some coochie. So what are you gonna do, right? So you just go out to the mall and stuff like that, right? You go where it's more mixed area and stuff like that, where it's like you don't have to deal with all these bullshit drama. You don't have to. So, and I get it, right? There's like in every race and stuff like that, or every ethnicity, you have guys that are somewhat, I would say, protective of their women, right? They are, they try to, overly protective, right? They, it's like, okay, you don't want your woman to mess around with just any type of dude that would take advantage of them and all that shit. But no, that's not the case. Because it's like, look, I want to get some pussy. You want to get some pussy. Everybody want to get some pussy. But why the hell you make it seems like nobody should get that pussy? It's like nobody get that pussy. It's like, look, it's the same thing with some of these with some of these broad, right? Let's say that they get baby daddy number one and all this stuff. These dude, he ain't doing shit for her, right? But he's not letting her go neither. So then therefore now his main job now becomes to chase around every other potential mate that might actually, do a better job than him. But it's not like these guys, right? They're not putting the rings on the finger, right? They're not giving these women like the security. And then, so now you have all these black chicks walking around and shit like that, right? Mad as hell because they look around, they see Becky's getting married, they see Mei Ling getting married, they see, these fucking, these Spanish chicks getting married, these Arab chicks getting married, and they're like, yo, what the hell's my ring? Like, what's going on? And these broad, so they're walking around bitter as hell, right? Mad as fuck. And then they're looking at someone that's like in an interracial relationship. It's like, dude, it's not my fault. I mean, it's like, I ain't got nothing against you. Whatever you got going on and shit like that. Just, hey, I already got mine, right? I'm with a chick. I'm not, look, listen, right? Here's a funny thing. Hold on a second. Here's a comment. Okay, yes, they were raised to be men. No, but here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. It's like the attitude thing comes in, right? Like, because you have to break down the whole attitude thing, right? Is it true that some of these bros have a lot of attitude? Yes, but here's the thing with guys that are in an interracial relationship. You do have men out there that's like, that are bitter as hell. They feel, I don't know, for some type of way, like, let's say, okay, you dealing with Snow Bunny, whatever the case, or whoever you're dealing with, right? But yet, for some weird reason, you stay getting mad at black chicks, right? And to me, that's like, dude, that doesn't make sense. If you're dealing with white chicks or Hispanics or whatever, if you happy, then there's really no reason why you just like keep hammering, keep out. These black bitches, right? Yo, all this attitude and all this shit, right? You know what? Yo, they are the worst women in the planet, blah, blah. I'm like, dude, like, what's going on here? Like, all right, look, listen. Here's the thing. Here's the funny thing, right? Most of the crap that I've actually got from women did not come from black women. Actually comes from because, well, I didn't mess around with too many black women. So then, therefore, it's only obvious that some of the crap that I had to deal with came from mostly white women, because these were the women that I used to mess around with a lot more. Not that I didn't get crap from black women, but it's like, look, I didn't really stick around that long anyway to get much crap from women. It was like, all right, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, right? So there's no relationship. If we're messing around and stuff like that, and once you're tired of me and everything, you stop, you don't call me no more. I don't, or you stop picking up my call. To me, it's like, all right, well, I had to find a way to actually distance myself from this chick anyway, so she beats me to it. All right, cool. Now, but when you have to now deal with, let's say, relationship, right? So let's say that you, okay, when you try to mess around, like I was saying, right, from teenagehood all the way up to, let's say, your mid-20s, right? That's when, from high school to your college days and all that stuff. And like I said, you just try to get laid. You're not try to do nothing else. You're not try to have any type of drama. You just try to get some coochie. Coochie. That's it. You just try to get some of that. But you have to deal with these motherfuckers that try to cock block you, that try to fight you. And it's like, yo, am I gonna have to try to be this thuggish type of dude just so I could get me some black pussy? Or am I just gonna go in a zone, in an area where it's like, it's less drama, where some of the dudes that you talk to and shit like that, right? They kind of cool. They ain't got no problem with you, like, let's say, with their women, as long as you're not trying to disrespect them, none of that stuff. And they're not gonna give you shit. They're not. Listen, most of the drama that comes with, when it comes to dealing with black people, comes from black dudes. And yeah, and listen, and women, y'all guilty of that shit, right? Because the thing is, when you're around that age, when y'all just want to play around, play the field and get your freak on and all that stuff, it's like a badge of honor watching guys fight over y'all, right? It's like it's almost like, I mean, let's face it, some men, they kind of enjoy the fact that women fight over them as well, right? But it's like, let's say you're a decent looking black chick, big booty Brenda, fat ass, right? Big old titties and all that good stuff, right? So yeah, you're gonna have a lot of guys pursuing you, and within that pursuit, you're gonna have a lot of cock blocking, and that also gonna deal with a lot of cockfighting. So, and a motherfucker like me, I'm not a street nigga. I'm not. So am I gonna like risk getting shot at, getting stabbed at, or fighting with some dudes over what? Over big booty Brenda? No, I'm all right, dude. All right, you know what? You wanna go ahead? You keep her. You keep her. And here's a funny thing, right? Because now, let's say these brothers, like a lot of people, they stay in the dating game for too long, right? They just stay at the party for too long. So a lot of these broads, they've been dealing with like ain't shit motherfuckers for so long, right? And then they're walking around all mad and shit like that because these dudes that they've been dealing with ain't doing nothing for them, right? They're marrying them, they getting into no long-term relationship or no secure relationship and all that shit, right? And then so they're walking around with that, that grimace in their face, right? And like, and dudes like, okay, and guys that just, they ain't feeling that. So if they try to holler at you and stuff like that, but hey, how you doing? Blah blah blah, right? And then you be like, these motherfuckers just try to get some ass. You know what? Fuck them, right? So, and then like a guy like looking at you, be like, all right, well, I guess you don't want to talk to me then. All right, well, it was nice knowing you. You just move on. And they'd be like, wait a minute, how come these brothers ain't talking to me? Well, because you already assume that I'm just gonna be thirsting after you and all that shit, right? Doing all that crazy backflip, try to impress you. Like, hey, hold on. Listen, I understand what it's like talking to a black chick when you try to get with them and all that shit, right? It's not that complicated, right? There's like a nice little sway. It's like a combative. It's like you are sparring somebody, right? It's like you would say something kind of out of order, like, give her a little nag and all this shit, and then she give you some pushback, you give her some pushback, blah blah blah, and then people might looking at you thinking that y'all arguing, but in reality, that's how we motherfuckers flirt, right? So I get that part, but sometimes it's like when you like let's say guys that, like I said, just want to get some drama free coochie, right? Don't want to deal with your crazy exes, none of that shit. So when they start going to this other culture, so then they develop a certain knowledge to these cultures, so they can actually now be more relatable to these women and these other cultures. So therefore, it's not like, well, oh, I hate black bitches. or blah blah blah, or they have an attitude problem. It's more like, well, based on my dating record, now I have a more of a preference for these women from this other culture. It's like saying that, well, like as a if you're dating and stuff like that, right? If, you're just dating, and you just say that, well, junk food is junk food, right? There's Burger King, there's McDonald's, there's IHOP, a whole bunch of stuff, right? And then you'd be like, well, you know what? Even though they're all junk food, I prefer McDonald's. But I'm not gonna go out of my way to just try to boycott Burger King and stuff like that. If I happen to come across Burger King and everything, then yeah, I'm gonna get me some Burger King. But now I got my home cooked, home cooked meal and all that stuff. So I don't do junk food no more. So then when these guys, they're already in that circle, right? Like guys like me and stuff like that. When we're already in that kind of vicinity, in that type of environment, so then we get ourselves with someone from a different culture or different race or whatever the case may be. Not because we hate black chicks, right? And the guys that speaking about like, oh, black chicks have attitude. Dude, I'm married with a Polish chick. Trust me, these bros got attitude as well. Yo, every chick that I deal with, they have some sort of level of attitude, right? So the question is like, okay, so are you, is the issue because like you feel like you are being disrespected, or is the issue you feel like you are being challenged? But that's the topic for another video. But right now, let's just talk about the whole attitude thing. So you do have, because a lot of these women, right? Hold on, Mr. S, date who treats you right. Most brothers never say I don't date black women. Hold on a second. Okay, we just date who treats them right at that time. Well, yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the thing, though. It's like, look, because I'm against the extreme, right? I'm against the extreme. Just like when I come across dudes that are like so overly like militant about this shit. It's like, yo, like there's a difference between like, criticism, right, of a particular group of women versus like you just like straight up trash talking them. You're just like dragging them to the mud, like as if like black women are like the worst thing on planet Earth. And then like I have to start questioning your motives. Like, yo, dude, like really? Like, really, bro? But it also goes the other way when you have like some of these female, like they feel some type of way when they see guys with in a different culture. So overall, you have both men and women, they feel entitled to the gender and their race, right? And that's like, it doesn't make sense to me, right? Because let's take a chick like, let's say Precious, right? Sorry. Like, okay, you have Precious. I don't know her real name, but this chick that, big girl, she's not that attractive. But you have Precious. She recently got engaged to a white dude and stuff like that, right? And motherfuckers who was like talking so much shit about Precious, now they talking shit to the fact that she got with a white man. It's like, dude, you didn't want her. What's the problem? Like, okay, so she got herself with a white dude and all that stuff. Like, okay, what was the problem? So what? She should be alone. She should be miserable. She should just like nobody should want her, right? And it's like, come on, bro. Like what's going on? So hold on a second. John Horse said all women would okay, all women would get an attitude if even if their heart is in the right place. If you just have to be able to decipher why her attitude is flared up. Look, that's the thing though, right? So attitude, just the attitude alone is not the reason why black women are not being chosen, right? It's the type of environment where there's this entitlement going on and stuff like that. And this is not a shot at the quote unquote educated lane, right? Because they have their own issues as well, right? But this is more of a shot out of these OGs motherfuckers that turn hotep. Oh, these guys are the worst. All these like black women are queen. These motherfuckers, these guys. It's like I had this clown, right? That came to my that came to my comment section and stuff like that, right? And left a message something about like you know interracial dating or race mixing is ungodly and all this shit. And I'm thinking, I'm like, bro, look, these guys who talk the most crap about like, oh, black women are queen, they these black guys are going that are going like to other races and stuff like that. Oh, they are the worst of the worst. They're destroying the black race, so on, so on and so forth. And then when you ask them, you're like, all right, well, have you married your baby mama? Well, it's not. Men should not actually have just one woman. We're supposed to spread our seeds. We're supposed to have like 3 or 4 or 5 baby mamas and all that stuff, right? Because like there's too much men going on out here just to give it all to one chick, right? Like, so you're not marrying these women, but yet you want to talk so much crap about someone who are actually, marrying their girlfriends or and stuff like that, right? So it's like, so what's the problem here? All right, what is the issue? Oh no, but it's like, dude, marry these girls, create those black families you be speaking about, right? But they're not doing that. All they want to do is like, they want to get these black chicks pregnant, right? They're not marrying them. They're not providing that foundation to actually raise a family, to actually uplift the next generation. But they are so concerned about like, other guys that are marrying outside of, the black race, right? And then when you think about it, be like, yo, dude, these are the same cookies that was like, that would make sure that no one else actually get with his baby moms, right? So it's like, well, even though I'm not marrying her, right? Even though I'm not getting her, I'm not actually, giving her that protection that most women actually want. But I want to make sure that I'm stopping everybody else from giving her that chance. So it's like, bro, like, look, all right. So the whole, like, look, I think every category of people can be criticized, right? I mean, shoot, myself included. Yeah, you want to throw shot at me or all that shit? Hey, have at it. I don't care. This is YouTube, man. It's fun. But when you have like, it's not just black women's attitude, right? The attitude might play a part in it, right? Because at the end of the day, as a man, you shouldn't actually allow yourself to be disrespected, and that comes from any type of race of women that you're dealing with, right? Yeah, of course you're gonna be challenged, and I would hope that if your woman, I hope your woman actually challenges you, because you're not always in the right. Right? You're not always in the right. And sometimes like when you do something that's like, and she questioned your motive, especially if she hasn't built that trust yet. So obviously she will challenge you on what the hell you're doing. Right? But there's a difference between being challenged and actually being combative and all that stuff. So I get all that stuff, right? And we could actually debate, go through all that stuff, blah, 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 so on and so forth. But like, if from a general perspective, right? From a general sense, I'm not talking about from an individual relationship, but from a general sense, to say that, well, you know what, because of black women's attitude is the reason why they're not being chosen and stuff like that. Like, dude, I had a cousin of mine, right? This smooth talker, right? He even told this chick once that, oh, I'm gonna take a bullet for you, girl. All that shit, right? And this motherfucker he got chased by a Spanish chick with a knife, right? This bitch was trying to stab his ass. This dude was like hopping fences, for like 3 blocks straight. This dude was running like, oh, he wasn't being chased. Like, oh man. So it's not just like, dude, it happens. This shit happens, but at the end of the day is, if I'm gonna be dealing with some chick, right? Am I dealing with her, or am I gonna have to be dealing with her crazy exes? I'm telling you right now, like, if my girl had like some crazy, ex-boyfriends or all this other BS drama and all this shit, I wouldn't be dealing with her. I wouldn't, right? So it goes the same way. It's like, okay, look, so women, that that onus fall upon you as well, right? So if you're gonna be dealing with some of the Pookie, some of the Ray, some of these guys with the swag and all that shit, right? Some of these ain't shit dude, right? The one that makes you feel good inside. If you're gonna be dealing with them, make sure like you grow out of it, and you grow out of it fast. Because if you still on your 20s and you still on your 30s and you still dealing with the same type of guy, you still have them around, these guys are making sure that you have no good prospect coming in your life because they get so entitled to that big fat ass of yours. And yes, that ass is fat. So they will make sure that every guy that comes around actually be able to give you the life that you want, right? Marriage, security, family, all that stuff, right? If you're still having with these guys around and you think that you're gonna be able to actually get a man that will be able to give you all that when he's like this guy's still around back and forth in your life, you gotta make sure you cut these motherfuckers off completely if you ever want to get serious, because these are the type of guy like that's gonna make sure that they cock block you on every step of the way, because to them it's like, if I cannot have her, nobody else will. And the funny thing about it, like, once they have you, they're not gonna do shit for you. They're not gonna do shit for you. So now, why do women with attitudes not? Why do black women are not being chosen? It's not because of their attitude. It's that environment, and with that in that environment creates it. It's like guys. Oh look, you have what up, Steven? What's going on? So look, here's the thing, right? You start with a hookup, right? Hookup culture, and then that chick becomes friends with benefit. And then from friends with benefit, you develop a relationship. And then from a relationship, you develop, let's say, okay, she makes the cut and all that stuff. It's like, playing musical chair. And then you take it a step further. You get serious with her. But a man is not going to go through all that trouble if from the start, even before she gets, he gets some ass, he has to deal with your crazy ex. He's not gonna deal with them other guys you be messing around with. Like growing up, dude. Hey, what's going on, Sydden Pretty? What's going on? So it's like, growing up, it's like I would go to the mall, relax. It's like you grab a handful of numbers and all that shit, right? And then some of these dudes, they're not giving that crap. Yeah, I mean, pretty sure like some white dudes or some Hispanic dudes might feel some type of way and all that shit, right? But it's like there is none of that drama stuff where you feel like you have to fight other dude just to get some drama free coochie, right? Because it all started with this. It all started with just getting some ass. And then once you get that out of the way, then you move on to the relationship part, right? But you cannot have that when you have all these so-called quote-unquote street dudes or street thugs try to cock block you every step of the way. It's like, yo, you see Big Booty Brenda right there? Yeah, that's my bitch. I fucked her first, nigga. So nobody gonna have her. Be like, all right, okay, you had her first. I might have her seconds. I might not be the last one, but I might be the last one. So what's the problem? Like, yo, come on, man. So you're the reason why Big Booty Brenda. So for the most part, you're the reason why Big Booty Brenda is single and bitter, because she thinks that, well, if this guy's, he's chasing all the other guys away from me to actually keep me from having a relationship, from, quote unquote, a nerd. All right. So then that means that he must really like me. And then turn to find out, nah, this, Deshaun or Deron or Derail, he just want to derail that ass. Right? And you just want to make sure that you have no other prospect of getting anything serious, because he just want to keep you around just for the sex, right? And it's like, so my point is this, like, the whole attitude thing, there are some truth to that. There are a lot of truth to that, but the attitude thing doesn't belong to just like one category of women. Right? Every woman gave you crap, regardless on how they fall on the skin tone scale. Right? Now, my point is this, right? This is my take on this whole situation. Like, If let's say all the races of women are your preference, so be it. You should stand up by and all that stuff. You don't gotta make all the excuses, right? Because like I said, I had drama from all type of women, white, black, blah blah blah, right? But my point is this: I didn't marry a white woman. I married a great woman that just happened to be white, right? So then, once you actually start being serious, make sure that the person that you select is the right one for you, despite of her skin color, right? Because some of these people that are so militant about who, what type of skin color your chick is, blah, 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 so on and so forth, especially out of these hotep motherfuckers, they're not marrying these black chicks. They're not, so they want to push this narrative, black empowerment, blah, blah, blah. But black empowerment starts with black families. So if you're not willing to, okay, you get a girl pregnant, you're not making an honest woman out of her, then you are doing more damage to the black community than the so-called guy who actually got himself with with a chick from a different culture. Like, can't you not see that? It's like, what's the point of you making a whole bunch of baby mamas and stuff like that, right? And you're not marrying none of these chicks. And then, you claiming like, yo, you know what, there's too much men here for one woman. Oh, look at that. Too much men here for just one woman and all that stuff. Like, nah, dude, look, you want to talk about all these black empowerment bullshit? Marry these broads, right? Find yourself a really good black woman, right? She, you select her pretty well. Don't deal with the drama and all that stuff, right? And if you're gonna be dealing with chicks that are ratchet, wrap it up. Don't hit it raw. Just like, protect yourself, because you're not just protecting yourself, you're also protecting your future progeny. You next thing you know is like, 2-3 years from now, you on YouTube bitching like, yo, these women, man, oh, I'm sick and tired of these bitches. Well, dude, who's fucking them? You are. That's like, look, if you're gonna be hating these broads, all right, wrap it up. Don't just get any chick pregnant, right? And then if, let's say that you happen to have a girl and stuff like that, or you really like her, and you already had all positions in the world. You already had it all, right? And then this girl happened to get pregnant. Marry her, man. Like you the one creating more misery in the black community by actually not marrying these women that you speaking of. And then you want to get on YouTube talking about like, oh, you see, all these guys that are actually marrying all the races of women are actually, they're the one that destroying the black community. Like, no, we're not, dude. We're not the one destroying the black community. And your women are mad as hell right now because you're not willing to make an honest woman out of her, right? So it's like, and when we were younger, you were chasing guys like me away. So it's like, okay, look, I will try to get with Big Booty Brenda. You will try to get with Big Booty Brenda. Why you have to try to pull a pistol on me for? Dude, it is what it is. So guys like me, we just like, all right, look, you know what? Do you want her? Go ahead, you have her, right? I'm going elsewhere. And then now, Big Booty Brenda's mad as hell because you didn't put a ring on it. And then now, both you and Big Booty Brenda try to blame me. It doesn't work that way. No, it doesn't work that way. So it's like, men create culture and women manages it. So the culture, that includes the type of environment that you create. And the only way you create a good type of environment is with family. Because with family, you have less drama. Because, like, look, you have something to protect. You're not try to, you're not try to have like a whole bunch of baby mama drama and all that stuff and everything. Like, when you try to have like grow in a good neighborhood, right? You try to have a good neighborhood and stuff, right? We need to do a stream in niggas versus black. Yeah. I mean, if you want, you could jump in here real quick. I could send you a link and stuff like that, right? So, or we could schedule something up and then I do something on your live stream. So it's like, The attitude is just plays a role, but it doesn't play that big of a role, because a woman that's actually willing to learn, and you actually show a level of leadership and stuff like that, that attitude is gonna tone down over time, because the attitude comes from a place of insecurity, a place of mistrust, right? And the more and more like you start showing your woman, like, you know, your leadership skills, right? Let's say you do something and then, you know, she challenges you on it, but turns out that your effort pans out, it brings a level of success. Then the next time you want to do something, right? And then she's gonna question it a lot less, right? And then before you know it, then you take charge. And that's the thing, though, like we are now dealing with a group of male that just don't have any type of leadership skills, right? And leadership is something that is learned. It's not something that you were born with. So then therefore, when you are listening to a lot of these guys, like, you know, they're not leaders. You know, they're just, yeah, they're teaching you how to get laid. And some of them, they just skip the whole step. Be like, yo, you know, just get yourself some hookers. Just go, you know, overseas and all that stuff. Skip all that dating stuff. You know, just get. It's easier. It's just gonna DR. You'll be all right, right? But it's like, oh, all right, cool. So it's like the attitude thing, that shit fades away quick once she start trusting you. Trust me, I had the same shit with my girl. She used to have a fucking attitude, right? So it's like, and I'm pretty sure any man who's been married or who actually been in a relationship longer than the average fart will tell you that there are levels to this stuff. You know, you have the first few months to a year in the relationship, right? That's when she's trying her hardest, right? She's cooking, she's showing you her worth, right? She's showing you that, especially if she recognizes that you have potential, right? If she recognizes that you have potential and she wants to see herself with you on a long-term basis. So then that's when she's trying to impress you and all that stuff, right? And then, but if now you're not reciprocating the effort, when she feels like, damn, after a year, I still have to compete with other bros and stuff like that. Like, what the hell? It's like, let's say that you are doing an internship at a company and stuff like that, right? For like a year, and then, but the boss keep making you feel like, hey, I can get rid of you anytime, all right? So then that's gonna create a level of mistrust. It's like, well, then shit, I might as well stop trying now, because there's somebody gonna be able to take my spot anytime, right? And then therefore now you have a group of women now that just stop trying for their men, because their men are looking at them like, hey, you are replaceable, right? I mean, yeah, it can be true sometimes, can be replaceable, but at the same time, it's like, if someone's putting in the effort to show you that she's worth your time, but you are looking at her time as if, like, hey, I'm just having some fun with you, blah, 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 blah. And then as soon as I'm tired of you and stuff like that, I'm going to get rid of you. But while I'm messing with you, I'm going to make you believe that you are the one. And that's where a lot of women, they get disappointed when, let's say, 4 years in a relationship, 5 years in a relationship, 3 kids later, right? Still no security, still no ring, a lot of breakup happening. You break up, you got back together, you break up, you got back together, and you wonder why the hell these bros are so mad. I'm just saying, right? So, but anyway, so it's Art Banaka. I'm not keeping you guys for long. So yeah, Sydney, yeah, I'm gonna reach out to you, and then we could probably do a stream and stuff like that. Yeah, why not? So shout out to you guys for coming through my comment section. Stephen Rose, I gave you a shout out earlier on my previous video and stuff like that. But anyway, so this is Art Banaka. Share, like, comment, subscribe. All right, I'm out of here. Peace.